Welcome to my third video log for March 8th, 2022. In the past few weeks, I feel like we've covered a much larger variety of topics relative to previous logs, which I'll try my best to unpack and reflect on here. Starting off, I'd like to talk about our experiences with rhetoric in this class. As we know, rhetoric is defined as the way we communicate and the means of our communication. Various philosophers and prominent figures throughout history have utilized rhetoric to convey emotion and convince others of their narratives. The part of this discussion that fascinated me the most was the view of the reservation and the art of English poetry. The view of the reservation believes that truth is only a tool of rhetoric. Truth is not fact. It is only what a person can persuade you of. The art of English poetry states that the poet is a dissimulate. The magic of the poet is to make you think what you are hearing is real but is actually fake. Both of these takes are incredibly interesting. Fiction is, by definition, not real, obviously, but I've never thought about the craft in the sense that it's about creating an elaborate lie. Poetry, by extension, is just the art of convincing an audience of a false reality by utilizing their understanding of what is real. When we were discussing the art of English poetry, I was reminded of a quote from a modern poet, Kate Rakowski. Sorry if I mispronounced that. She said, "Nothing ever ends poetically. It ends and we turn it into poetry. All that blood was never once beautiful. It was just red." Poetry is glamorous and beautiful, but in the end, we need to acknowledge the fact that it is deceitful. Instead of warning against the dangers of reality, poetry can romanticize them, which can undermine the sacrifices of people who went through the issues that poetry is derived from. While I agree with some aspects of the view of reservation, I still believe that there are some universal truths. While I concur with the stance that truth can often be subjective, some concepts are so rudimentary that I find it difficult to not believe that there are not completely right or wrong answers. For instance, all mortal lives share the same fate of physical demise. There is no contradiction to this statement, therefore truths do exist. Other than rhetoric, Neoplatonism and the effects of the director's concept on a performance stuck out the most to me from the material covered in the last few weeks. The contrasting views on premarital sex between Neoplatonism and Christianity were very interesting to me. I always find it intriguing when ancient schools of thought have views that are seen as progressive by today's standards. Regarding learning about director's concept, I found this to be the most engaging concept that we have investigated in this course so far. As I previously mentioned, I love breaking down the creative processes behind my favorite media. It's amazing to me that a completely new product can be created from pre-existing source material through the innovation of a director's concept. One of my favorite examples of a powerful director's concept altering a story was The Green Knight, which was directed by David Lowery. David Lowery's concept was able to turn a relatively light-hearted fable into a psychological and existential thriller. To wrap up this vlog, I want to speculate on Amiri Baraka's belief that you can't limit your mind with what you know. My inquiry that I have moving forward is that if the most creative works are formed from the unconscious mind, why do we teach concepts like writing conventions and structure if this actually impairs our ability to be original? This concludes my third vlog. I'll see you for the next one.